Here are 5 incredible facts about portrait photography that you probably didn't know before clicking on this video. Number 5. The first ever picture taken of a human being was a mistake. In the year 1838, Louis Daguerre, one of the fathers of photography, was about to take a photo of Boulevard du Temple, a street in Paris, France. The thing is, because the camera had an exposure time of 7 minutes, it also managed to capture a young man who just happened to be shining his shoes on the street. Louis Daguerre took many other photos in that same area. In one of them, he managed to capture a metal boot buckle. And in another photo taken from the front door of his home at 77 Boulevard du Temple, you can clearly see a puddle created by rain. Such amazing photos when you consider how far back in time they were shot. Number 4. Portraits used to be of dead people. Now this one was kind of creepy. You see, many of the portraits you see today that were shot in the Victorian era are pictures of dead bodies. In the Victorian era, people took portraits of dead people because it was a way to remember them. It was also done for religious reasons. Some people believe that by taking a portrait of a dead person, they would have a better afterlife. This is because the photograph was thought to capture and preserve the essence of that person, and so they could preserve their soul in that perfect state forever, the same way photographs freeze them in one state and kept them that way forever. To help their journey into heaven go a lot smoother, a lot of people placed objects of spiritual significance on or near the dead person. This is why you would often see these subjects with things like crowns, scepters, globes, armor, and musical instruments. Now this becomes even more creepy when you consider the fact that taking a single photo would last for hours. These family members had to hold their dead relative in place for hours on end just to take a photo. I mean, talk about doing it for the gram. Number 3. Why nobody smiles in old portraits. There are actually a few reasons why you never see anyone smile in old portraits. The first is that the exposures were too long, and nobody could hold a smile for that long. The second reason still has to do with the long exposure, but for something slightly different. You see, to keep themselves perfectly still for the many hours it took the camera to get the shot, people had to hold themselves upright with back braces. Have you ever been held upright with a back brace? There's definitely nothing to smile about in that situation. And finally, a lot of subjects just don't smile because, well, they're dead. Number 2. The first selfie was taken in 1839. People often say that our generation is so obsessed with ourselves that we created the selfie, but nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, since as far back as humans could photograph other things, we started to take selfies. Photographs shot by us, for us, about us. The first selfie was actually taken in 1839, barely a year after the first human was ever photographed. This historic selfie was taken by Robert Cornelius, an American chemist and photographer. Nearly 150 years later, the selfie stick was invented in the 1980s, not in the 2000s like you would think. However, it wasn't popular at the time because digital cameras didn't exist yet. The cameras that did exist were very expensive to own, and they weighed a ton, certainly not comfortable to hold on a stick. Fast forward to today, and you could get a really good selfie stick for like less than $10, use it to prop up your iPhone, and get really crispy and amazing shots that people of the past could have only dreamed of. Now that's futuristic technology. Before we take a look at our craziest portrait photography fact of the day, here are some honorable mentions. The term selfie was coined in 2002 by a drunk Australian. The first use of the word can be traced to a post on ABC Online in September 2002 that read,
drunk at a mate's 21st. I tripped over and landed lip first with front teeth coming a very close second on a set of steps. I had a hole about 1 centimetre long right through my bottom lip. And sorry about the focus, it was a selfie.
The headless photo trend. Long before the arrival of Photoshop, we have always looked for ways to manipulate our photos. This craving sparked the headless portrait craze in the Victorian era. The Victorian era was certainly a very creepy time to be living in. Hey, if you've been enjoying this video, please let us know by hitting the like button, subscribe to the channel already, and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. And without further ado, our number 1 fact of the day is, you have a good side. It's your left side. If you've been trying to find your angles for a long time without any success, then you're in luck. Today, I'm here to tell you that scientifically, your good side is your left side. According to a study conducted by Kelsey Blackburn and James Shrillo from Wake Forest University, the left side of our face expresses more intense emotions compared to the right side of our face, which is why the left side of our face is often perceived to be more attractive. So next time you're having trouble picking out a pose that works for your portraits, turn your left cheek and smile. The camera will love you for that. And there we have it, 5 portrait photography facts that you probably didn't know 5 minutes ago. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of video, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.